And I wasn't happy with de Kock, I wasn't happy with Rabada, and even Linder going for that big drive. He played so well, Linder, and he was in. He played for the big drive and then got caught in a leg slip. There was that rough area that the spinners could hit, and it was there, you know, they know it was there. So they had to have some sort of strategy against it, I would have thought. Straight to the man who is short, actually, in the covers.
Positive intent from Imran Butt. Played that shot beautifully. Went to the fielder though, but looked comfortable so far.
The most disappointing thing about Rabada is the fact that they didn't take that single. It was dropped on the fence. They should have taken that single. I know the boys talked about that. There's that extra bounce, the wrap on the gloves. That's his natural length. It's around about 8 meters on the base of the stump.
That's why the short leg is so important, because of this kind of length. Because if there's short leg, there'll be a lot more pressure on a batsman every time. He won't be on a front foot because of that fielder. He'll play probably the same delivery on the back foot. First over gone without any wicket.
I think your wish might be their command. Wazim, out comes the helmet. It's going to be Temba Bavuma. Now his application with the bat I thought was really good today, Temba Bavuma.
He was impressive. He fought well. He knew the situation, what's happening. His defense was solid, and he was rotating the strike as well. Nokia will take the new ball from University end. 32 wickets in his short career, 2 5-wicket hauls. We all know he can bowl quick.
This is quite interesting. That Nokia wanted a man on the offside, the man who's in front of square, a short square mid-wicket, just in front of square, just moving around a little bit. He wanted him on the offside and was asked no because of that line, I suppose. Temba Bavuma has got the helmet on at a short gully position, and that's why he's got the helmet on, because he's in closer than you'd normally be as a leg gully. The bowlers should always have the plan in their mind, and I'll speak to you about that, was from your career, how you went about things and how it worked with the captain. It's nicely worked.
They're off. Pakistan. When I started off my career, obviously I had the great Javed Miandad, Imran Khan, Mudassir. These guys were helping me to set my field, because I was too young and I didn't know the opposition batters as much. And eventually when I got experience, say when I was 21, 22, then I started setting my own field. And I think that's how you empower the bowlers. You give them the responsibility to set your own fields and let them be. You can't just say, no, I don't want you to be, I don't want this fielder here, Ijrada should be here. Then you're giving him 2 options, and that's not a good option for a youngster.
And I'd imagine the captain is more than happy with that. If you in your mind, if you've got your own plans, you know exactly what you want to do, and you know the field you want. I mean, that's perfect for a skipper. Yeah,
if you're bowling where you want it to bowl and skipper knows what you're doing, then skippers are happy where it doesn't matter the era or the time. It's kind of difficult to tell a bowler, okay, you bowl this delivery every ball, because it's impossible to bowl the same delivery every ball. It really is. If it's that easy, every bowler should bowl the unplayable delivery every time.
Yeah, you did every 3rd ball. Oh, there's a thick outside edge. And it's racing away for 4 runs. So it was safe. There was no drama with that. We'll just bank that boundary.
Open the face of the bat. There was no 3rd man. Got the boundary.
So it butts away now. Lovely line from Nortje. 141 k's per hour, 87 miles per hour. He burst onto the scene, actually, Nortje, in the limited over, or the T20 game. That's when he was first noticed, which is it's a nice little story. He's very much a test bowler and a serious talent. Two overs gone, 5 for none.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's the skipper. He hasn't had a good test. And there's that short leg as well. Temba Bavuma, who is now occupying that position for Rabada. So Wasim is happy, and I think that's exactly how it should be. Not just Wasim happy, but the field placing is correct. We'll go with both, actually.
This makes sense, this field. To me, as an ex-fast bowler, on this particular track, a bit of uneven bounce there, especially with the new ball.
He's already clocking up 142 k's per hour, Rabada. He just glides to the crease. It's just such an easy run up. It really is.
Rhythmic kind of run up. It appears there's no effort involved when he runs in. Average speed 138, fastest so far 140, almost 142 kilometers an hour. That's good pace.
I liked his answer, actually. I interviewed him the other day after he got his 200th wicket. I liked his answer. My first question, I said, obviously, what does that mean to you? And he said, it means I've been rewarded for a lot of hard work I've been putting in. And that's, you know, people don't realize how tough it is being a fast bowler.
You've got to work hard every day on your fitness, on your bowling, on your fielding, especially at the top level. It's not that easy. It appears easy, but it's not. So many sacrifices you have to do. Stay away from families.
He used that word as well. Beautifully bowled, nicely played. Even more challenging for Abid Ali now because he's not the tallest opening batsman around, and you've got a ball that's bouncing around 7.5, 8 metres in front of you that is a little bit variable, that we've seen throughout this test match. You know that one is going to jump at some stage. So the opportunity he has to react to that from someone like Rabada is virtually zero. There it is.
There it is. I think it's hit him on his thumb, under his thumb. He's got a protection there. Just the length delivery. Look at the bounce he's generating from this on this slow deck. Rabada.
He was bowled by Rabada in the first innings by one that was fairly brisk, but it also kept low, a little bit low. Nicely played right behind that. Good solid stuff from Abid Ali. 5 for none. Just over 10 minutes to go now before lunch. Long session, this one, 2.5 hours, this first session. Gee, a lot has happened. Pakistan have got to make sure they get to that change room, get to lunchtime without this opening stand being disturbed.
That would be ideal for Pakistan. They need a win as a team. Pakistan didn't have the best tour of New Zealand there, but I think if they win today, it'll definitely boost their confidence as a unit. And obviously the Babar Azam, the skipper. 6 wickets in this session.
It looks a completely different team apart from the Centurion, who got 100 in New Zealand as well. And I say it looks a different team. I mean, their fielding compared to New Zealand. New Zealand, their fielding was really poor, and they admitted that, and spent so much time on their fielding drills and getting it right. They've been magnificent in this Test match.
Yeah, I agree. The fielding, especially the first day, the first 4 hours, were out of this world. For a long time, I've seen Pakistan team fielding like tigers. So, Mikey, changing that subject, I believe you guys were out last night for a dinner. How did you enjoy the Pakistani food?
The crew went out for a meal. It was superb. It really was. It was a unique place. Lovely concept. Open air by the beach.
Yeah, it is.
On the beach.
It is called Do Darya. It means 2 rivers.
Food was outstanding.
Yeah, I had kolache. Excellent food.
It was. That's an outside edge again, and that's running away. Frustration from the South Africans. Nortje it was, I think, who was the one that was yelping a little bit. Another boundary, they hurt.
Second boundary towards third man, outside edge. But doesn't matter. Every run is important, doesn't matter how they come. And we've seen this in Test match, that this is not an easy wicket to bat on against the spinners and against the fast bowlers, because the unevenness in the pitch was just too dry to start off with on a first day.
Back to that fielding, you know, I think it's so important that that things gets a nice tone gets set early, and Butt took 3 catches, but the first catch he took was just an absolute blinder. I mean, that's a superb slips catch, and then suddenly he was there in the right spot. A poor shot from Quinton de Kock, and then at leg slip, that's a fine catch also. But that first catch, as a bowler, that first catch does the world to you guys.
The best I've seen in recent past in slip gotten by a Pakistani fielder. No doubt about it.
Yeah, impressive stuff. 4 overs gone, 9 for no loss.
Nine for none, Pakistan. The famous truck art Pakistan is famous for. In Pakistan, truck art has origins dating back to the 1920s, when Bedford trucks imported from England. Many trucks and buses are highly customized and decorated by their owners. External truck decoration can cost thousands of dollars. I think thousands of rupees may be. But I remember taking a couple of these truck art paintings back to Australia. They're always bright colors, Mike, everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen the trucks nicely painted and the painting as well. I mean, it really is a sight. It's lovely to see. Let's not forget about the Brighto fan of the match. Play the Brighto fan of the match contest and win a signed ball. Some trucks are not painted. Some cars are.
Looking comfortable, I must say, Imran, but quite impressive. Confident young boy. The way he took the catches, the way he has dived around in this test match. That's a good sign for Pakistan. Slip Gordon especially.
78 runs to win now. Pakistan, they're going to have to grind it the way that these two guys are going, Rabada and Nokia. Nice straight drive, but nicely worked by Ngidi. 200 test wickets to Rabada. Picked up 3 in the first innings. There's the 2 wickets he picked up early. 1 kept low, 1 bounced. So that's these 2 openers, by the way, and that's the 3rd he picked up, that of Hassan Ali, which was his 200th test wicket. Solid as well. 5 overs gone, 10 for no loss. So 10 for no loss at the moment. What have we got? 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes now before lunch. So these 2 guys have done a very good job. The seamers, I would have thought, should continue, but no, it's Maharaj, just 1 over. Obviously, I would have thought it might have made a bit more sense for the seamers to continue the way they were going, Nokia and also Rabada.
I think probably 1 over. The skipper thought, well, might as well just give a spinner and see if we might get a breakthrough. 6 5-wicket hauls, that's impressive.
All right, well, let's see how he goes.
That's where the problem lies. Sometimes the ball turns from the same spot and sometimes it doesn't. And that's what troubles batsmen.
I saw there's a bit of action last night on social media. Some of the South African viewers were wanting to know what these birds are that are flying around. They're not vultures right now, so to get that straight for starters.
Yes, they're not vultures, definitely. They're kites. And there are lots of them here in Karachi.
They're big.
They're huge, they're massive. 2-3 foot wingspan, maybe.
Impressive flyers, that's for sure. I saw some oh, there you go. There's a nice up close personal look, and that's short and wide, and that's been hammered away. Plenty of time to play that. Good shot for 4.
Boundary for Abid Ali. 74 runs required to win this first test match. Solid start by the openers. He's on 6. Look at this shot, waited for it, and then played between extra cover and point region. Safe shot.
Got that away as well. Outfield's very fast still. 4 more runs, back-to-back boundaries.
Abid probably was relieved when he saw the spinner bowling from that end. Last over, maybe before lunch. 2 boundaries. He's on 10 now. 70 required by Pakistan. Not a great delivery. It was short, it was wide. Easy pickings for Abid Ali.
$18 for no loss. 6 overs gone now. We'll have to wait and see if there is one more. It all depends about when the umpire gets to the stumps, and it's going to be Alim Dar who's walking towards the stumps now. There he is. Alim Dar's there. Is he there on time? He is, I think. Yep. Quick look at the watch. One more it is. Rabada wants one more.
Extra bounce from Rabada, and what a carry on the previous delivery. That shows that's a 2-paced pitch. Look at this. Whoa. Nicely played in the end by Imran.
Nice bowling again. That's hitting the gloves quite hard. Well left. South Africa will be desperate just to try and pick up one just before the lunch break. The next session, by the way, is a shorter session. It's an hour and a half. This is a long lunch break. There's going to be an hour lunch break. Being a Friday.
Enjoying the Kupa, Chapal Danidar. How is it, mate? The local tea. National brew. Enjoy.
Ooh, he's deep in concentration. That's rare footage, actually. We better keep that. Nicely played. Perfect line again from Rabada. Going to bruise for starters. I think it was sliding down the leg side. So an example again of one that's not bouncing at all. I don't think Quinton de Kock's going to send that. Oh, he has gone upstairs. Yes, he has. That's well down the leg side.
Are you confirming that?
Surely.
Such an awkward pitch. 4th day of this test match.
We umpire to director.
Short delivery, 10 bounce at all.
LBW. It's a fair delivery. Original decision is not out. Confirming no shot offered. Let's keep rolling. Yes. Can we go straight to ball tracking with no shot offered? Okay. Waiting for ball tracking, guys. It's building up. Still waiting for ball tracking, guys.
Still waiting for ball tracking. Not sure it's needed.
This pitch outside off. Impact, no shot offer, wicket missing. Go back to on-field umpire Alim. Stay with your original decision. You're on screen. Please signal.
Well, I hope there's some review training, review lessons after this test match, because that's the fourth. Very ordinary one. And that's a beautiful drive down the ground. That is a lovely shot indeed. You play that sort of shot off Hachisa Rabada, you're in good nick.
Yeah, what a brilliant shot from Imran Butt, especially after he got hit the previous delivery. His weight was on front foot. He showed full face off the bat. And another boundary for Imran Butt. He's on 12. Pakistan 22 for none in 7 now. They required 66 to win this first test match.
See, and they've done it pretty well. They've gone to lunch now. They've done it very well indeed. And to play that shot, to sign it off, to go to the break, to the long break, as I mentioned, it is going to be an hour, is a good performance. And South Africa have not had a good session. 6 wickets going down in that session. Pakistan losing none. 80 runs scored in 32.5 overs. So it's another session where we've seen plenty of action. It's another session also where Pakistan have been well on top. They might be vultures circling in the background now. There's Pakistan. Abid Ali is not out on 10 at the moment, but not out on 12. Azhar Ali to come. The skipper, then Fawad Alam, Centurion, Rizwan Fahim, who played so well in the first innings. A lot of batting, but at the moment it's just 7 overs and 22 for no loss. And South Africans, 3 bowlers used, a couple of seamers. Rabada's always a chance to pick up an early wicket. Nokia had a couple of edges going down, which frustrated him of his 2 overs. Maharaj, a couple of loose ones, were punished for a boundary in the only over that he bowled. But if we do have a look at the match summary, South Africa won the toss and elected a bat, and that normally is a huge advantage in these sort of conditions. They didn't make the most, losing their last 8 wickets for 112 runs. And Pakistan now 378 in their first innings, so a big advantage there. 158 was their advantage, with Fawad Alam getting a century. And South Africa 245, losing the last 9 wickets for just 70 runs, with Markham getting 74 and playing really nicely. And Pakistan 22 for no loss at this stage, and they need 66 more runs to win this first test match of 2. Okay, time for us to take a break now. It is a long break, as I said. It's a 60-minute break, and we'll be back in around about 55 minutes' time. Welcome back to the National Stadium in Karachi, where we are coming back from a lunch break. It is the start of the middle session on day 4, Pakistan against South Africa, and this test match has been very much about Pakistan. They really have played superbly. Let's just have a look at the batting card for Pakistan right now. So it was a little bit of a session for them. They had to get through that. 7 overs it was, 22 for no loss, with no real dramas. Thick inside or thick outside edge or 2 down to the 3rd man, but that was fine. There was no dramas there. So 10 and 12 respectively, and plenty of batting to come for Pakistan, which is going to be a bit of a dampener for the South Africans. 66 runs to win. That's what Pakistan require. Here's a look at some highlights. And this is the work that was done by Pakistan. That was the very first ball of the day. Really good work from Hassan Ali. Always printing the clock. Getting caught up bowling of Yasir Shah. He was in the game a lot. Temba Verma came out in the middle, and I thought he played really nicely. Some nice strokes, a couple of good positive drives. Got a couple down the leg side that he also got an opportunity to put away. It was a big, thick inside edge. Leg slip came into play. We saw George Linder go. Now, this was interesting. This was Rabada getting dropped by Hassan Ali, but they didn't take one. This is the next ball, and he got castled comprehensively. And this was the debutant, his first of many wickets, actually. Norman to excite the Pakistan players. That was just a chip. Nokia. And that was Bavuma, who I thought played pretty well for his 40. It was sent upstairs, but 5 wickets on debut for Norman. So really good work from him. He can be well pleased. That was one of those edges that I was talking about, the thick outside edge. And a couple of loose balls from Maharaj. A bruise from Rabada, which might have needed a bit of attention perhaps at the long lunch break. It was sent upstairs for some reason. And a beautiful drive down the ground to finish the session. Lunch was called. Pakistan walked off, and walked off sitting pretty. 3 bowlers used by South Africa, and not too much influence from either of them at this stage, although Rabada was also always a threat when he's got the ball in his hand. Ramiz Rajas alongside me. Rambo, as we have a look at the match summary, gee, Pakistan have done a very nice job in this test.
It was an important test match for them after being sort of roughed up in New Zealand. Didn't have a great time of it, and so coming here and facing up the South African challenge wasn't an easy gig. But they've really managed things very intelligently, played the crunch moments cleverly, bowled well, batted superbly in the first innings. I think that was a clincher. When they were 30-odd for 4, to get to 378 was a big deal. Good time to get a not out under your belt. Pakistan would dearly want their openers to get some runs and get some confidence. It's a tough pitch to last the distance, so all they've got to do is to work out a method, a way where you think it's a good pitch, where you are more on the front foot and not worry about the awkward bounce, and look to be out there for the next 66 runs.
Yeah, I think that's dead right, actually. You've got to be more concerned about the ball keeping low on this surface at this stage of the test match. And also, let me say that I think the pitch has been pretty good. I really do think it's been pretty good. A test match pitch is supposed to introduce other attributes of a game. The spinners have had a fine time. The seamers also, yeah, a little bit of variable bounce maybe from the seamers. But then again, that also is allowed to happen. So I don't have any problem with the pitch at all. I don't think the players will be saying anything negative about the surface. It was very barren on day 1, scarred quite early, so we knew the spinners were going to play a role. South Africa, of course, remember, we're going to play 3 spinners, but Shamsi pulled up with a bad back just before the toss. He won the toss, elected to bat. Losing the last 8 wickets, 112 in the first innings didn't help them. Nokia it is. Chopped it on. Outside the line of off stump. That is a thick inside edge. Has deviated quite a lot, and a wicket has fallen straight away.
Drama, drama, drama straight away after the break. Nokia there rattling the stumps. That ball keeping a little low. He's got pace, so it was quick, kept low, big inside edge, knocking over the stumps, and so This is what South Africa needed, bit of life. And a very good result straight away after the break. Gone for 10, Abid Ali, 22 for 1.
Well, that is a very good start by South Africa straight after the break. Means that the experienced Azhar Ali is striding out now. The second time that a ball has taken a wicket in the first ball of a session. Happened first up this morning and Maharaj was castled, and now the wicket that has just fallen, which has brought the smiling number 3. 84 test matches under his belt, into the middle.
Just got to be a little careful when you're looking to hit the ball hard, because Abid Ali did try his hand off the first ball of a brand new session to go hard through the offside. Ball keeping low and big inside edge, rattling the stumps.
Two slips, two wide slips, spaced. Silly point as well. And a very nice delivery to start, but worked onto the onside. Nokia quite clearly trying to take full toll of those feet not moving too well at the start of an innings, but he's so experienced, he just got it away for one.
First ball after the break. A little wider angle for Abid Ali to deal with. The bat came down at an angle, the ball keeping low as well. Big inside edge, and he was gone. This pitch still demands a lot of care, a lot of attention. You can't really be going hard through the offside of the new ball, and Nokia is quick. Pumped up.
And after that, he was quicker. Always happens. Picked up a wicket. The next ball was quicker than the one before, as it was a little bit of a loosener, I guess, first up after the break. Nicely bowled again.
Hazy, you're talking about the quality of the pitch. Nobody should have an issue. In the last 2 years, 65% matches are done inside 4 days. So, going by that
No.
stats.
No is my answer.
Going by that stats, I think this is a reasonably good surface.
Change of question, right? I thought you were going. Oh, you were going. Yep. No one wants 4-day test match cricket, Rambo. Let's just make that nice and clear. Well,
Absolutely.
that Gabba test might have been interesting if it had been called off over 4 days.
There's a big debate regarding 4-day test match, but I'm with you regarding 5-day test, because, you know, the lesser teams may get away with murder. I mean, you know, and plus the rain factor, bad light, that kind of stuff can stifle the progress. The best team should win in test match cricket in any form of the game. Gone, caught behind. Wayward shot. Outside the off stump, South Africans are back in it big time. Nokia is rattling Pakistan's confidence. 2 wickets for him right after the start, and it's the newcomer Imran Butt, who's faltered and he's removed from the scene.
A twist, a little twist in this game. That is a big, healthy nick. No problem whatsoever for Quinton de Kock. Celebration started alongside de Kock, and the bowler knew straight away that he'd picked him up, so he's got his second. Goodness me, here we are. 2 quick ones after the break. He's gone for a dozen now, 23 for 2. I have no doubt the team chat from South Africa would have been, right, let's see if we can get a couple of quick ones pretty early and put the skipper Barbara Azam under a little bit of pressure, get him out in the middle. He missed out in the first innings. He didn't play in New Zealand due to that fractured thumb. He's a sensational cricketer, this man. It's as simple as that. An absolutely sensational cricketer. But he's going to be in the firing line. Those are the non-strikers end at the moment. And Rabada. Oh, that's found a gap. It's found a gap and there's no one down there to stop it.
So here's a little puzzle for South Africa to solve. Should they have close men round the bat, or should they strengthen the slip cordon against Azhar Ali? The feet usually do not move swiftly up front when you begin the innings. Turn him around. Maybe an extra slip fielder could be useful. Rabada does like to swing that ball away from the stumps.
Two key players in on the leg side. Leg gully in particular, with the ball that might jump a little bit down the leg side. What he's trying to do, of course, is bowl at the body. Let's try and put Azhar Ali under a bit of pressure at pace.
Not good cricket from Pakistan after the break. This was a wide one. And playing his first ball after the break was Imran Butt. I'd be thoroughly disappointed with that, because it worked hard to get where he was. And maybe lapse in concentration.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Broad blade, straight down the ground for 4.
You know that he's batting well when he's driving the ball in that fashion. The balance was great. That's an excellent shot to play on a surface like this with a straight bat. The front foot moved into that drive so nicely.
That's not a half volley by any means. 142 k's per hour, was just stroked down the ground. Kept a little bit low, that one. He is so experienced, though, Azhar Ali, that he will know that he just has to make sure that he covers that. He's seen balls keep low. He's seen balls bounce a little bit and wrap on the gloves. But he'll be looking to protect his wicket, so it'll be the thought process in the back of his mind. Right, I've got to get forward to this, even though Rabada's a class act and he's bowling quickly. Solid again. Good work from Rabada. Have a look and a listen. Now, you've seen quite a bit of him as well, Nokia Rambo. The Pakistan boys are clearly a bit shocked in that viewing area. He's a class act too. Well, it's almost found its way to the gully. Rassi van der Dussen, the finer of the gully, I suppose. End of the over. Interesting stuff. 31 for 2.
For South Africa to make this an interesting tussle, they need to pick up a wicket after every 10-15 runs. Simple as that. So they've got to utilize their best bowlers, and right now with the new ball, it's got to be Nokia and Rabada. Now this should be interesting. He's a bit ring rusty, Babar Azam. He's on strike, marking his guard. Slip in a gully, awaits for an outside edge, shot cover, shot mid-wicket, shot square leg. So they're expecting the ball to jump at him, or at least making him realize that that's going to be the line of attack.
I think here's a real opportunity to lock in. So let's just pick up on what Rambo was saying. So ring rusty, fractured thumb. I mean, fractured thumbs are not fun for starters, and it takes a little bit of time to get that confidence back when you've broken a thumb. You've sat on the sidelines, you've watched your team go down in New Zealand. You haven't had a bat in your hand in a game for a long time. And you're up against a couple of blokes who have got their tails up and are bowling quickly, and have got a plan against you and are bowling straight. Let's just have a look at the way he goes about it. Again, I'll repeat it, he's a sensational cricketer. I call him the artist. I used to call Hashim Amla the artist, but he's now retired. He's in the commentary box. I now call Babar Azam the artist.
A lot of stuff to like about Babar Azam. As you say, he's a stylist. He's technically a lot improved batsman in Test match cricket. Now in Test cricket, we know that your temperament is tested. And this is all about your temperament at this stage.
It's good bowling too. Good bowling for Nokia. 144 k's per hour. People probably won't understand this about Nokia, and I know you've had conversations with him as well, but he's just a lovely guy. Henrik Nokia, he's a guy always ready to break into a smile and a bit of a chat. He doesn't look like it now when he's got the ball in his hand, but he's a bloke who loves bowling fast.
So what happens in such a situation if you're batting? Obviously, you're under pressure. So you fall back on good tight defense. Make sure that you don't go hard at the ball. It's about occupying the crease, keeping it simple. And Babar Azam knows the value of his defense. He's got a very solid game plan. Seems to see the ball a little early, gets into position early as a result.
Doesn't that make you jealous?
Absolutely. I mean, he's a class act.
Gift of one, see it early. Loud scream. I presume that was no.
We were told when we started playing for Pakistan that, you know, calling loudly for yes or a no would take the nervousness out of your system. And also it works for the non-striker as well. If you're clearly saying no, yes, this wait, yes, come, no, can cause a lot of confusion.
As a yeah, that'll be two. I think I heard through the stump mic. You might have picked it up as well. It is a comfortable two to finish the over. So 10 overs gone. This is exciting stuff. 33 for 2.
A very difficult shot to execute because he stays inside the line of the ball. Generally, I think it became an easier shot for him to execute, but to play with a slanted angle of the bat to a guy who's bowling around 145, 147 clicks is pretty special.
Talk about Babar Azam and how he picks up the ball early, the best pick up the ball early. Now what that does also is allows them to pick up the length of the ball earlier than most. That's why they're so good, these guys, these blokes. We all know those that are the champions, the Virat Kohlis, the Razams, the A.B. de Villiers, Steve Smith, Labuschagne, Labuschagne, whichever way you want to call it. Labuschagne, he's something special as well. Joe Root recently has been amazing. I watched him in Sri Lanka, those test matches, sensational. He's a terrific player, Joe Root. He's going to come back for a couple. We can also mention Kane Williamson. What a star he is, a superstar, Kane Williamson. So there's a whole host of guys around the cricketing globe that you can watch closely, and you'll just see that's the common trend there, or the common trait. They pick up the ball early and therefore pick up the length early and therefore never appear rushed.
That's good solid batting by Azhar Ali. Hasn't looked nervous at all. The balance is well established at the crease. As a senior pro, has got to make sure that there's no nervousness seen through him by the dressing room. He has opened so many times for Pakistan and generally is in early, even at number 3. So why not have him opening the innings for Pakistan? Scored a triple hundred as an opener. Double century at Melbourne as an opener. Too good a record as an opener. Leaves it well alone. 2 down for 35.
Eleven overs. .35 for 2. That little challenge again, little head-to-head. A little bit of Inverec solar energy, tic-tac-toe. Still trying to work out how to play this. Yeah, it's a draw, that one. I think I've worked it out. Is it a draw? Perhaps I haven't worked it out. They both got prizes. Oh, that's nicely bowled. Trying to sneak underneath that bat. Disturb that furniture behind him, but good enough to jam down on it. Again, in no way rushed.
Managed it well in the end. But did rush him that fuller length.
Oh, that kept very low indeed. He had to jam down. Nokia can't believe that he did, I think, by the look of that glance.
That is such a good defensive shot, and you can only play that shot if you're keeping an eye on the ball. Excellent bowling by Nokia, once again targeting the stumps and ball keeping low, making sure that he played it with the blade. Back and across. Look at how the bat came from a height to the lower side.
The thing about it really is he's not really going back. I mean, normally he would, but he's not really going back. He's sort of going across more than anything because he's very aware of that ball keeping low, as that one did as well. So you've got no room to go back.
All he has to do is to look to play in that V area through mid-on and mid-off. Forget about working the ball away with his wrist, which is his favorite shot. Such a lovely player off his pads. And you can do that on such pitches, but not when the ball is bouncing up and down.
His sole aim now will be to see Nokia off, Nokia and Rabada off. That'll be what he'll be looking to do, to then see the guys like Ngidi come into the attack, and perhaps a spin of Maharaj, or maybe there's a little bit more swing around of the quicks. That's probably how they should be operating a bit, but let's see what Quinton de Kock decides to do. He's certainly got his work cut out at the moment.
The other thing that he's doing extremely well is playing the ball late with his bat close to his body, his front pad. When you're a little nervous, when you feel that you're being threatened, you go hard at the ball, and so far the indications are very good from Babar Azam. Soft hands, playing the ball late, looking to play it as straight as possible, making sure that you take care of the low bounce.
Another very fascinating over. 12 gone, 35 for 2. There's no concern about runs at this stage. It's all about making sure that they blunt this seam attack. South Africa, of course, looking to make inroads, pick up another wicket. Rabada will keep running in. He won't mind. He's full of pride, this man. He'll keep running in and bowling as best as he possibly can. And he's a thinking bowler. That's a great thing also about Rabada.
South Africa ideally would like to make it tough for Pakistan to go over the line, so that there's some reference points come the next match. Some silver lining in a losing cause. That is what they're fighting for. So they're mentally not extremely down come the second test match. And these two test match series can be pretty tricky. Your first test means a great deal, because if you lose the first test match in a two test match series, then you're almost done. So this was an important contest for South Africa. They're looking for something to take back home to Rahul Pindi. Some good reference points. Maybe pick another couple of wickets, 2-3 wickets, so they only lost by 4 wickets or 5 wickets. Make it a good positive talking point as a group.
No, I think it's very important. They can happen to pick up maybe a couple now, then suddenly things look a little bit different as far as Pakistan's concerned. Oh, that's a good positive shot. That's a really good shot off the back foot. Lots of time to play that. Wasn't the slowest delivery, but he's clearly in some good nick.
Nothing preemptive from Azhar Ali and from Babar Azam as well. They're just looking at the ball, picking up the length and working away. Not over analyzing the situation or the pitch or the quality of the bowlers. It's about looking hard at the ball and making sure that you get behind the line and be safe and get Pakistan over the line.
He bowled 4 overs before the break, Rabada. It was that long break of an hour. So he's now into his, about to finish his 3rd after the break. Extra bounce, but comfortably played. A little bit of a stare, actually, a bit of a glare between the two. Bowler and the batsman. 13 gone, 37 for 2. Centurion to come in next. I had a fascinating chat actually with Fawad Alam this morning before the start of play.
Regarding his stance?
That's kept low. Yes, it was regarding his stance, and you guys after play yesterday, you and Wasim were talking about his stance and illustrating a couple of things, which was interesting. But I wanted to know from him how he got to that stage. How did Fawad Alam get to that stage where he was so open and the extra movements and that sort of stuff? And he said to me that it was something that just sort of evolved, and he said he always knew that his stance was a little bit different and he knew it was square on. But he said he played a lot of first-class cricket around the place in Pakistan, a lot of games in Pakistan, obviously not playing international cricket. Oh, that's superbly worked. That's just whipped away with disdain, really. That timing is exceptional. So he said he realised he was making some excessive movements, some extra movements, and he realised that he was setting up sort of face on a little bit. But he had no idea he was that face on, and a square on, I should say. And he said that it eventually actually got more and more square on as he went, and he kept scoring runs. And when he saw himself on TV, on video somewhere, he said he got the shock of his life, really. He didn't realise he'd actually got that square on. So he thought he was about half where he was, but because he was performing and getting runs, that it just naturally evolved like that. And I think if we all do something successfully and we do it differently, then you tend to adapt with that anyway. So that tells the story. It's quite interesting, I think.
While doing the demonstration, I felt dizzy from front on to a side on.
I wasn't in the bubble. He was in the bubble, of course, this morning before the start of play. So we were having a bit of a shouting match from a distance, socially.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yes. But he was more than happy to chat about it. It was great for him to tell me the story. In fact, he was getting the whistle from his teammates to come and do the warm-ups, and he was still happy to have a chat. So it was nice to hear from him. But I quoted the story, actually, and he got a chuckle out of this because he remembered watching this play I'm about to talk about when he was growing up as a young kid. I quoted the story to Paul Adams. We all remember Paul Adams and that really unique action he had when he was bowling. Paul Adams thought he had an absolute standard bowling action. He had no idea he bowled like that. Paul Adams said that he used to sort of get a little bit annoyed that there were guys that were watching him bowl in the nets and they just stand and watch him in the nets, and maybe some would pass comments and that sort of stuff to their mates. And one day his brother took down a video camera and videoed him. And he said when he saw him bowl for the first time, he was just utterly shocked that he had that action.
Good that he didn't bowl to Viv Richards.
Dead right.
Absolutely, that straight drive would have done a fair bit of damage.
It was the wrong term I used.
What was his action compared to? Frog in a blender?
And I think that was Mike Gatting who started that one. Box down. 40 for 2.
Just a countdown now. 48 needed. Azhar and Babar, I think maybe have just stemmed that little bit of a storm with the faster men. Pakistan well on their way. Babar Azam, well, he'll want to be there at the end. Didn't have a great game with the bat, but as a captain, he's done extremely well to notch up. The problem is, well, in all, if all goes to plan, or if there's no major drama, Babar Azam notch up his first victory as captain, but he'll want to get some runs as well. Obviously, every batsman wants to get runs, but he'll want to be there at the end to celebrate.
He has been out of action in New Zealand. He got injured there. So, big day for the skipper. And obviously, winning will be icing on the cake, I suppose. First test match against the South Africans. 40 for 2 Pakistan. Azhar Ali is looking good, solid. It's not an easy pitch, fourth day, especially with the fast bowlers, quick fast bowlers, unevenness both ends now.
And the matchup again, and this will play on Rabada's mind and Babar's. Turned away beautifully, just rides the bounce and comfortably into the onside, and such is the timing that it gets to the fence.
What a shot from Babar Azam on this wicket. Just roll off the wrist. Timing was beautiful. No effort, just sheer timing. Have a look at this shot. The last minute, that flick of the wrist in the middle of the bat. That's the beauty of Babar Azam's batting. He makes batting look so easy. Beautiful. Looks a good bat. .44 more runs required by Pakistan to win this first test match against South Africa. The skipper is on 9. Azhar Ali is looking good, experienced cricketer, ex-Pakistani captain. 15 first innings.
.44 for 2. Session 2, Pakistan is easing their way towards that target of 88. Just wanted to ask you this, Wasim. I know that you're an advocate for the captain getting better as he gets more experience. Babar Azam first game as captain. How would you sort of say he's done in this game? Obviously they won the game, but at all, were you impressed, or was there some signs of concern in his captaincy?
I don't think so. I think he's done a great job. Obviously, first time, you know, he's on the field as a skipper. Second inning, the decisions are much better. Bowling changes are much better. Again, good shot. With straight bat from Azhar Ali. Definitely got a bright future, Babar Azam, as a skipper. That's for sure. He's young. 25, 26 years of age, Babar Azam, and especially today, the way he handled his bowlers, he given short bursts to fast bowlers from one end and then spinner from the other end. Yasir started, then Numan came back, so that's really was a good sign.
I remember, well, maybe I'm wrong, but I remember sort of an interview from yourself where you said after you'd done a lot of captaincy in terms of being captain of Pakistan, you thought you were much better captain, and towards the end you were probably the best captain that you yourself could be.
Yeah, I think I learned the hard way, I suppose, captaining the side. It wasn't an easy task. That's Babar Azam at his best. What a shot from Babar Azam. Sheer timing. Another boundary from the skipper. 39 runs required now.
Captaincy might not be easy, but have a look at the ease which Babar gets this to the fence. His balance always spot on, but he makes it look so simple.
Every time he plays that shot towards covers drive, towards covers, he finds a gap. That's the quality of his batting, Babar Azam's. Down leg side, inside edge, will ball race away to the boundary. 2 and 2 from Babar Azam.
Yeah, feed him outside off stump and he'll punch you through the covers, and then you try and rectify that by bowling straight, but he's got the ability on the leg side as well, albeit a little inside edge, but it was down the leg side and helped on its way. .35 now to win. Just 35 more runs to win. It's been quite a performance by Pakistan. The comeback in that first innings after losing first 4 wickets very cheaply, and then the performance of Noman Ali in the second innings, 5 for 35, been the better team throughout.
I think after seeing this test match for 3.5 days, now you realize how important was Fawad Alam's innings on this pitch against this bowling. And that too under pressure. He came out to bat when Pakistan were 27 for 4. And Giri.
Turned into the leg side. It might just be tracked down, but enough opportunity to get back for 3.
Good effort by Nokia. 32 runs required to win this first test match of Pakistan. And I think this win or this test match obviously will give them a lot of confidence as a unit. Belief.
Brighto fan of the match play the Brighto fan of the match contest and win a sign ball. The sign ball is from the man of the match. Who would it be?
There are some very good performances. You talk about Noman, you talk about Yasir Shah, But if you see the 3.5 days, the way wicket has behaved and behaving, for me, definitely Fawad Alam is the front runner. Because the way he batted under pressure when wickets were down, chips were down, he came, he stuck in there. His defense was solid. What do you think, Buzz?
Can't argue with you.
Well, you can
It's
actually.
possible. It's possible. No, I think you've got it spot on. I think Fawad Alam. That's a quality shot. He stood up and just punched it through the offside. Forte wicket, doesn't matter.
21, Babar Azam, and best of the lot. Timing, the balance, the weight shift, everything was spot on. Back of a length delivery too. Put it on the up and again into the gap through extra cover. That's what he's really good at.
And the other positive for Pakistan is that their best batsman Babar Azam hasn't, well, he didn't get a run in the first innings, so there's still that aspect to come. And we've seen today as well the way that he bats. It's not very often that he doesn't get runs.
And even coach is smiling. You see, that's always a good sign.
Very rare. Coach smiling. $60 for 2. Test batting rankings, Babar Azam number 6, but he's the 3-format player. Kane Williamson right on top. Joe Root, after getting a double 100 and a massive 180, climbed up to number 5. But yeah, you can't keep Babar Azam down for long.
They can't. On top of the ladder, Kane Williamson, Steve Smith, Labuschagne, Virat Kohli, Joe Root and Babar Azam at number 6 now. Change of bowling from the University Road end. Linda will take the ball. George Linda. 4 wickets so far in his second test match. Ideal conditions for a spinner to bowl, actually. Misfield, fumble and a single. Maybe 2. So that's what happens. A little partnership can give you a kind of a negative body language. You can see everybody's very quiet now. The shoulders kind of down, waiting for it to happen. Only 26 runs required by Pakistan.
I had this discussion earlier with Darryl on comms. Interesting part of this test match is that Pakistan have outfielded South Africa, which you can't say very often. And the other factor is that Pakistan's lower order has contributed so much more than South Africa's lower order. And those two things that South Africa are known for.
Fielder is there, straight to the fielder. Rabada, backward point. Yeah, they ticked every box in this test match, Pakistanis. They fought back well when they were 30-27 for 4. You know, Fawad Alam got 100, then Azhar got 50, then Fahim came at number 7, number 6, he got 52, 60 odd. Obviously the most exciting thing was the way they fielded in this test match. So that's also positive signs for Pakistan cricket and this series ahead.
Yeah, a couple of runouts in that first South African batting innings, and then you've got Imran Butt, who's taken 3 catches, 3 quality catches. Abid Ali, who took 3 quality catches in the second innings, so he's been really good in the field. 62 for 2. Just resting that hand, lots of bruising, but thankfully no fracture. So in all intents and purposes, he'll be available for that next test match in Rahul Pindi, and they need all the batsmen they can get, and he's their premier batsman. In terms of even this test match, he looked really good in that first innings, and only after that blow to the hand in the second innings that he, well, lost his rhythm. Time for a brew. It's all very calm, Pakistan just easing towards their target, so no stress at all.
It's a weather for this brew, isn't it? Crispy in the morning, a little warm in the afternoon, then pleasant in the evening. Perfect weather here in Karachi.
Well, they say you can't improve on perfection, but you're going to Islamabad next, so weather will be even better.
It'll be freezing. I live in Karachi now, come on.
No chance. Be beautiful.
It'll be beautiful, no doubt.
When you go at 5 a.m. for your jog, you'll need a couple of jumpers, that's
I'm
it.
taking my beanie as well and my bomber jacket, definitely.
And then at night when you sit out, have your cup of coffee or tea, you'll need that again.
Another beautiful city of Pakistan, Islamabad, capital. Nicely played, checked his shot. He was thinking to go towards square leg, and then he checked his shot at the last second. That's good thinking, experience. One of the most experienced batsmen in Pakistani squad, Azhar Ali, the ex-skipper. That's an interesting stat. 65% of the matches are done within 4 days in the last 2 years. Probably it's got to do with shorter formats of the game, maybe, you know, different thinking nowadays. All the players they go for runs instead of defense. Defense used to be an art. I remember, if I have to think back on mind straight away, you think of Sunil Gavaskar, You think of Hanif Mohammad, you think of Shoaib Mohammad, in fact, who could bat all day.
Nicely into the ball, the balance flowing through. Just a couple of runs, but everything going in the right direction for Azhar Ali in terms of that drive.
Well kept by the skipper behind the stumps. 65 for 2 and time for the drinks break. So 23 more runs required for Pakistan to go 1-0 up in this two-match series. Bank Al-Falah presents Brighto Paint series. And Babar Azam obviously ruling the roost in terms of his side being better throughout the test match. It had a lot of twists and turns, but Pakistan by far the better side. Just perched to take off in readiness for Pakistan's victory celebrations.
So looking ahead, Baz, what can we expect in Rahul Pindi in terms of the pitch?
Well, normally Rahul Pindi first day, there's a lot in it for the fast bowlers. There's first session especially, you get to see movement. But now that Pakistan have had success on a dry pitch, I think they'll try and make a dry pitch, try and make a pitch devoid of any sort of grass and make sure that they have that advantage. And for that advantage that they got here, this man responsible, Yashir Shah, spin. Also reverse swing and the sweep shot from Azhar Ali working well. Almost got $500.
That man in picture there for a moment, Yunus Khan, he was absolutely a brilliant sweeper. You saw Azhar Ali there just get onto off stump, play it low and sweep well. So good that, in fact, AB de Villiers in an interview talks of finding out and speaking to Yunus about how he played the sweep shot.
Gets it through the offside this time. Just a couple of runs, Pakistan on their way to victory, and I think this is just a signal that they want to get it done and dusted quickly.
16 required, probably another 4 to 5 overs. A boundary or two will change that probably down to about 2 overs. Well, South Africa will have to address a few issues. Their batting depth. I'm sure we'll see 1 or 2 changes. Do they need 2 left-arm spinners? I do think, though, they'll have to toughen up and play better cricket for these conditions. Too many soft dismissals.
George. 72 for 2.
The think tank, de Kock, du Plessis, Markram. And one of the other discussion points, I'm sure, will be his captaincy. It's not ideal when you have a captain who's a reluctant one. He got the job, and within a month it said that, well, he doesn't see himself doing it beyond the end of the year. Personally, I would move on. You do not want a reluctant captain. Do you go back to du Plessis? Didn't do much wrong. Does he want it or not? We don't really know what the story is and what happened. And then the one who's always been touted has been Markram. Always drifting down. All the runs have come. Will be through overthrows. That's right, just one of those days.
Yeah, one of those test matches. They'll have to front up and get better, because there's more to come. I think Pakistan still can play better. They've still got Babar Azam to fire. He's a top quality player. The batting in Rahul Pindi. The one thing about Rahul Pindi is that it's a high percentage ground where there's a lot of boundaries. And boundaries like that, that is class. Short and wide and spanked through the offside.
Well, this is why everyone considers him such a good player. Off the back foot, he's really climbed into this. It was asking to be hit. And for South Africa, where does it leave Elgar? Sore hand. They've got 3 test matches coming up against Australia at home. One thing he doesn't want is a hand which is troubling him. It can affect his game. It's no fracture, but what we understand is painful. There's a fair amount of swelling. Not too many days before the next test. So they've got Keegan Peterson, his middle order more. Sarel Arvier is a top order batsman. Kyle Verrein's an interesting one because he's a keeper batsman. Do they look at adjusting their top order, give the gloves to Verrein and allow de Kock to bat lower down? Mulder's an option, all-rounder, batting all-rounder. And that's Keegan Peterson. He's on for Elgar. But to top it all, Baz, I just think they need to play better cricket, tougher cricket. We said before the series started that it's a new experience for all of them in terms of playing test cricket, yeah? So I really hope that they take a lot out of this test match and look to improve where they haven't done well. It's a learning experience. You can take a lot out of every test match, win or lose. It's what you do with that knowledge.
Down the leg side, turned away, and Pakistan scampering away towards victory.
Well, I must compliment you, Baz. I'll do it again. You read this pitch, you read the match, the patterns of how we could have expected it to develop as it went on. It had its ups and downs. By and large, it's been an exciting one. It hasn't gone 5 days, but it's nevertheless been a very good, exciting test match. South Africa had their moments, just weren't quite there when it mattered the most. But all credit to Pakistan. At the end of the day, they've played the better, tougher cricket.
$82 for 2. Second test match at Rahul Pindi, and then the 3 T20s in Lahore. And it'll be difficult for South Africa with the turnaround, but what has been difficult for everyone is this COVID-19 period. And credit to, well, the PCB for staging match through the offside, and Pakistan race towards this victory. So just before they do that, need to give credit to PCB for staging this series. They had a series against Zimbabwe. And also played in England. Played in New Zealand. Had a full-fledged domestic season back home as well. So they've carried on. And that has meant that a lot of cricket being played, these guys playing out in the center. They made sure that they keep fit and perform. So just 2 required now. South Africa's problems in the subcontinent continue. This will be their 8th defeat, consecutive defeat. They'll need to turn it around quickly because Pakistan are rampant.
I think they can. They just need to play better cricket. As simple as that. As simple as it sounds. To rethink how they approach the second test and who they approach it with, and the style and intensity of cricket they play. What about a down the track, over the top? Thank you very much. Stumped.
But a reverse sweep. Or just a little defensive prod into the offside. Still 2 needed. Maharaj. Appeal for LBW, and it's been given second time around in this test match. Maharaj wraps Babar on the pad. He's reviewed it straight away.
TV umpire to director. We have a play review for LBW. The on-field decision is out. It's a fair delivery. Let's start with front-on spin, William, please. It's nice and slow. Ball is close to the bat. Need to confirm through ultras, please. Waiting for the ultras, guys. Just keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. Flat line, flat line. Roll it through to the pad, please. You're satisfied, no bat involved. Go for ball tracking when ready, please. Ball tracking is building up. It's coming up. Original decision out. Pitch in line, impact in line, wicket sitting. Go back to on-field umpire. Halim, stay with your original decision. You're on screen. Please signal.
Maharaj gets Babar Azam twice in this test match. Both times LBW. And this is the first ball that is bowled in the second innings to Babar Azam.
With 2 to win, that's the last thing you want. But well done to Maharaj. Match may be over, but test wicket is a test wicket. 86 for 3.
Fuad Alam, century in the first innings, walks out. Pakistan just need a couple of runs to get this test match over with and win the test match. 300s, no 50s. Probably the most meaningful innings in this test match was his innings in the first innings. Got 100 and didn't get bothered by any of that spin. Now he can, well, he can finish things off with a sweep into the leg side or hit over the top and get Pakistan through.
That's good with Awal to have a look at this dismissal of Babar Azam. Hopefully he'll get to it. Not too sure what you think, Baz, but I think he's just guilty at times of just planting that front foot across the crease. Doesn't go again and having to play around the front pad.
And as a bowler, you don't want to be that bowler who gives away those final runs because it gets replayed enough. Fuad Alam cuts it through the offside and fittingly gets Pakistan over the line. A resounding test match victory for Pakistan. It's been this man in the first innings with 100 of note. Pakistan win the series, or win the match by 7 wickets, lead the series 1-0, and it's been the better team throughout the test match.
They were under pressure after that first day and they've come from behind, and since then, morning the second day, they've been the better side and a well-deserved win. Played good cricket when it mattered most. Their tail batted beautifully. They got that lead, which just proved in the end too tough for South Africa. It's a convincing victory by 7 wickets, so South Africa will be left with quite a lot to think about. And what did they do in terms of their team and the way they approach it, the match itself, their tactics, who they play, before Rahul Pindi. They've got a couple of days to get together, have a rethink. I'm sure they'll put in the hard work. I don't think they necessarily out of it come the second test. They've got the talent, they've got the ability, and it's just a question of how they go about it. But this Pakistan side, they've obviously enjoyed playing at home. They've understood the conditions. And as you said, Baz, this pitch was always going to be better as the game goes on. But it's an opportunity. Rahul Pindi's a fresh start. So we look forward to another interesting, enthralling test match. This sure has been a good one. It's given us just about everything.
Right now, time for Pakistan to celebrate. And it's been an important victory after that tour of New Zealand. Fuad Alam leading the batting unit. Oman Ali 5 wickets on test debut. Yasir Shah exceptional with the ball yet again. The conditions suited them. Brilliant in the field as well. And Pakistan will be very happy, very convinced by the way that they played this test match.
Yes, that fielding was hugely important. That first innings, they took some good catches. And in the outfield as such, saving those singles, diving when it came to the boundary. And this is how it ended up. And fittingly, yes, Fuad Alam, hero of the first innings. And there was a little cheer as you saw that go to the boundary. I think the favourite for man of the match, surely.
Yep, job's done, and done well. Happy dressing room, happy coaching staff. It's been a good performance throughout the game. Chasing 88, Pakistan lost 3. Babar at the very end, out for 30, but Azhar Ali 31 not out, and Fuad Alam came out and hit the winning boundary. Pakistan came out with early inside edge onto the stumps. You expect the ball to just keep slightly low. What they pitched in the outside edge form. Run putt of Nokia. Azhar Ali started off with the edge of the bat, got a boundary for that, and then classy drive through the offside. Babar Azam, as he does, really plays elegantly, classily, and got a number of boundaries. Probably that one the best. Punch through the offside on the up. Azhar Ali meanwhile swept the ball to the fence, and Babar Azam thumped it through the offside. Balance that Babar Azam has. Maharaj right at the back end. 2 runs required. Got rid of Babar Azam, but Fuad Alam punched it through the offside. And Pakistan went 1 zip up. Couple of wickets for Nokia, 1 for Maharaj, who's got Babar Azam twice, but it was never enough. Pakistan reached that 88-run target in 22.5 overs. South Africa won the toss, batted first, got to 220. Yasir Shah with the wickets, 3 for 54. Pakistan then 378, courtesy of fighting, courageous knock from Fuad Alam, 109. South Africa then got 245. Numan Ali 5 for 35 on debut, and in the end chasing down 88, and that meant that Pakistan a resounding victory by 7 wickets. And we'll be back shortly for the presentation.
We're ready with the post-match presentation. Firstly, PCB would like to thank its sponsors, local administration, security agencies and all other departments who have extended their support for putting on this spectacular cricket match. Now to the guests, a warm welcome to Mr. Mohammad Yahya Khan, Group Head Digital Banking, Bank Al Falah. Mr. Syed John Kirmani, Head of Sports Affairs, Brighto Paints is here with us, and Mr. Saud Babar Sheikh, General Manager, Inverex Solar Energy. To recognize and appreciate the players and match officials for their performances, contributions and achievements during this pandemic year, the PCB announced Pcb Awards 2020. Today, as part of Pcb Awards initiative, we honor Fawad Alam, who won the Individual Performance of the Year for his brilliant 100 of 296 deliveries against New Zealand. May I invite Fawad Alam to please come forward and receive trophy for Individual Performance of the Year 2020. He's had 3 or 4 terrific months, fabulous batting under pressure, and so he wins the award for that famous 100 that he got in trying circumstances in New Zealand. Right, the next award is for Yasir Shah, 7 for 133. He'll collect the Inverex Solar Energy Energetic Player of the Match, cash award of PKR 50,000. May I invite Yasir to please come forward. Right, the next award is for the debutant Noman Ali, 7 for 73 on Test match debut. He'll collect the Bank Al Falah Outstanding Performance of the Match, cash award of 50,000 rupees. Extremely well done. Noman Ali was outstanding, performed under pressure, spun the ball and won Pakistan the honours in the first Test match. Great performance. Today's man of the match is Fawad Alam, and may I invite him to please come forward for his another very, very impressive 100 under pressure. He'll sign a ball for Brighto fan of the match. Collect the Brighto Paint Man of the Match trophy and cash award of 100,000 Pakistani rupees. फवाद आलम, आपको बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो. थोड़ी सी गुफ्तोशीनीद करते हैं. माइक्रोफोन एडजस्ट कर लीजिए. कितना इम्पोर्टेंट था ये 100, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान को उस वक्त रन्स की ज़रूरत थी, सेंचुरी की ज़रूरत थी, मुश्किल पिच, आपने काम आसान बना दिया.
इम्पोर्टेंट बहुत था क्योंकि नीड थी टीम को, और जिस तरह के हम लोग तकरीबन 36 for 4 थे और हमने 220 रन करने थे, तो फर्स्ट इनिंग पे ज़्यादा डिपेंड कर रहे थे कि जितना हम अच्छा करेंगे, जितना लंबा करेंगे, उतना हमारे लिए सेकंड इनिंग में इजी होगा, और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अल्लाह का शुक्र है कि अल्लाह ने इज्जत दी.
परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द ईयर भी आपके नाम है, जो आपने न्यूजीलैंड में सेंचुरी की. कैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि इतनी देर के बाद पाकिस्तान के ड्रेसिंग रूम को दोबारा आप एक तरह से रिविजिट कर रहे हैं? कितना प्रेशर था आप पे परफॉर्म करने के लिए?
प्रेशर ऑलवेज देयर. आपको पता है इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे प्रेशर बहुत ज़्यादा होता है प्लेयर पे, और आप इतने अरसे के बाद कम बैक कर रहे होते तो प्रेशर बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. और ये जहाँ तक ड्रेसिंग रूम की बात है और आप अपनी परफॉर्मेंस की बात है, बहुत ज़्यादा इन्जॉय कर रहा हूँ. और जहाँ तक आपने अवार्ड की बात की, मेरे ख्याल से अल्लाह ताला का जितना शुक्र अदा करूँ कम है कि इतने अरसे बाद अल्लाह ने कम बैक कराया और इस तरह से इज़्ज़त दी.
अच्छा, डिफ़िकल्टी क्वेश्चन के हिसाब से बताइएगा, ये पिच कैसी थी और आपको किस तरह से यहाँ रन्स करने पड़े?
पिच सबके सामने थी कि डबल बाउंस भी था, डबल पेस भी था, ब्रेक भी हो रहा था, पैचेस खब्बे के लिए स्पेशली ज़्यादा बने हुए थे और फिर लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर थे उनके पास दोनों के, तो इतना इजी नहीं था. सो आई थिंक आपको बस वही बात थी जब हमारी अंदर भी बात हो रही थी, जब भी सुबह हमारी हडल में बात होती थी कि बस आप अपने आप को अप्लाई करो और काम रहो, मतलब गो विद द फ्लो. जिस तरह का बॉल हो रहा है, ये नहीं पिच के बारे में नहीं सोचना कि क्या पैच हुए हुए हैं या क्या बने हुए हैं, आप अपने आपको पता है किस तरह खेलना है. सो मेरी कोशिश यही थी कि अपने आप को अप्लाई करूं और जब खड़े रहेंगे विकेट पे तो इंशाल्लाह रन्स आते हैं.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका, ज़बरदस्त फॉर्म है आपकी, इसी तरह से अगले मैच में भी जाइए.
थैंक यू सो मच.
Man of the match award winner Fawad Alam for his terrific 100. Played spin perfectly on a rough pitch, played the angles beautifully and had the temperament really to weather the storm, continued playing a fabulous match-winning knock for Pakistan in that all-important first innings. May I now invite the South African captain to please come forward, Quinton de Kock. Well, we'll try, Quinton. Was it the performance in the first innings or lack of resilience in the second innings that cost you the game?
Yeah, obviously, I think it was our first innings batting performance. We were very soft in our dismissals. So I think that was a big cause to our loss this game.
Yeah, it's about adjusting, isn't it? I mean, it's difficult in COVID times. You've got to get into the act straight away. I mean, how difficult was it from South African pitches against Sri Lanka to come here and to adjust and adapt to low bounce?
Yeah, look, I don't think we took too long to adjust. We were here for a while. We did get a lot of practice under our belt. I think it was just a matter of just being soft. I thought we did adjust well, especially in the second innings. We saw from Rassi and Aiden. So, yeah, it was just the soft dismissals.
Any good reference points that you would take into the Rahul Pindi test match from this game?
Yeah, look, I think we learned quite a lot of batting units on this type of surface. I think we will look to take that forward, and obviously our bowlers, we bowled really well with great aggression and great accuracy. It's just fortunate that the Pakistan team batted really well against us.
All right, okay, Quinton, thank you for your time and all the best for that next test match.
Cool, thanks.
Cheers. May I now invite Babar Azam to please come forward, Pakistani captain. बाबर, आपको बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो इसलिए कि पहली दफ़ा आप पाकिस्तान की कप्तानी कर रहे हैं टेस्ट मैच में. एक तो पहले एक्सपीरियंस बताइए और कितना प्रेशर था न्यूजीलैंड के बाद यहाँ के घर में खेलना, और फिर एक तरह से गिवन था कि आपने मैच जीतना ही जीतना है.
हाँ, पहले तो अल्लाह का शुक्र है, अल्लाह ने इतनी इज़्ज़त दी, मैच जितवाया था फर्स्ट कैप्टन, और क्रेडिट जाता है प्लेयर्स को जिसने उन्होंने मेहनत की है. जैसे बात करूँ तो बॉलिंग ने आउटस्टैंडिंग स्टार्ट किया क्योंकि विकेट आपके सामने लिटिल स्लो था, लेकिन हम जो प्लान कर रहे थे कि अगर टॉस जीते तो हम बैटिंग करते, लेकिन हमने स्विच किया एकदम कि बॉलिंग आएगी तो हमने उस पर जो हमारा प्लान है उस पर ही रहना है. तो फिर उसके बाद आपके सामने माशाल्लाह स्टार्ट अच्छा हुआ और फील्डिंग ने काफ़ी साथ दिया.
ये जो जिस तरह से टेल ने फाइट की पहली इनिंग्स में, क्योंकि वो एक तरह से क्लिंचर था बाबर, इनिंग्स जो थी फंसी हुई थी, 30 पे 4 खिलाड़ी आउट, उसके बाद अगले दिन आके वो जो परफॉर्मेंस दी आपकी टीम ने, वही एक तरह से मैच को ले गई आपके हक में.
हाँ बिल्कुल रमेश भाई, मैंने टॉस पे भी बात की थी. यहाँ पे पार्टनरशिप बहुत ज़रूरी है, और जिस तरह हमारे 4 आउट हो गए थे 30 पे, उसके बाद जो नेक्स्ट डे आके फवाद आलम और अज़हर भाई ने जो पार्टनरशिप लगाई और उसके इतना लंबा लेके गए, आउटस्टैंडिंग उन्होंने करैक्टर शो करवाया, एक्सपीरियंस शो करवाया, तो इस चीज़ से काफ़ी बूस्ट मिलती है कि यार इतना उन्होंने वेट करके, और उसके बाद जब वो आए हैं उन्होंने आउटस्टैंडिंग परफॉर्मेंस दी थी न्यूजीलैंड में भी और यहाँ पे भी, जो टीम के लिए बेस्ट हुई, और उससे ही हमारा टेस्ट मैच बना. और उसके बाद जो फिर हमने बॉलिंग में नुमान अली ने आउटस्टैंडिंग बॉलिंग की, यासिर शाह ने बॉलिंग की और फास्ट बॉलर्स ने उनका साथ दिया, तो एक पूरा मेरे ख्याल से टीम गेम थी जिसकी वजह से आज मैच जीते हैं.
सो प्रिपरेशन पिच की भी बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट होती है बाबर, आज जैसे आपको पता है, क्योंकि आपको पता है साउथ अफ्रीका की स्ट्रेंथ शायद पेस बॉलिंग है, और आपने उनको फंसाया एक टर्निंग ट्रैक के ऊपर. उससे आपको भी कंट्रोल मिला शायद और आपकी सिलेक्शन भी थोड़ी सी आसान होगी। और नौमान अली की आपने बात की, डेब्यू पे 5 विकेट लेना आसान बात नहीं होती। क्वालिटी की टीम है साउथ अफ्रीका, कितनी बड़ी परफॉर्मेंस वो कर गया।
हाँ बिल्कुल रमेश भाई, काफ़ी क्वालिटी टीम है आपके सामने। वो उनके पेसर्स काफ़ी अच्छे हैं और हमने ये जो प्लान किया था कि या आपको पता है यहाँ पे स्लो ट्रैप होती है, स्लो विकेट होती है, तो उस हिसाब से हमने कम्बिनेशन खिलाया था। और जिस तरह नवान अली ने डेब्यू किया, पहले डेब्यू मैच में बड़ा प्रेशर होता है, लेकिन उसने करेक्ट शो करवाया। जो उनका एक्सपीरियंस था उन्होंने शो करवाया। और जो जिस टाइम पे पार्टनरशिप लगी थी याशिर शाह ने, उन्होंने विकेट लेके दी, उसके बाद मोमेंटम बना और मैच हमारे हक में आया।
बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो बाबर, आउटस्टैंडिंग परफॉर्मेंस है पाकिस्तान टीम को। आपको ये जीत चाहिए थी न्यूजीलैंड टूर के बाद, और ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर द फाइनल टेस्ट मैच।
थैंक यू।
That was Babar Azam, Pakistan's winning captain. Thank you to the guests, and that concludes our post-match presentation as well.
Pakistan winning in Karachi by 7 wickets. We now go to Rahul Pindi for that second test match, which starts on the 4th, and then the T20s venue being Lahore. The cricket coming fast for this series especially. Pakistan needed 88. Nokia got an inside edge. Abid Ali dismissed. And he was part of a good spell. Got an outside edge as well. Imran Butt dismissed. And then Wada succeeding getting the edge, but went for 4. Then Azhar Ali just got into his act. Babar Azam, as we know, times the ball really well.
Well, it's only a question of time, really. You felt that although South Africa had got that early success, Pakistan here were going to take it home. And there were some good shots to go with it. Just Azhar Ali there, a model of how to sweep, and Babar Azam just standing tall and picking up whatever he could. South Africa had no option but to go for the wickets. And a mixture of a bit of turn, one which went straight on, and Maharaj for the second time in the test match getting Babar Azam out. So it was then left for Pakistan and Fawad Alam, the man of the match, to finish things off, and a well-deserved victory in the end. They came from behind, but once they got ahead, they grew in confidence, their game grew in confidence, and it just proved to be too much for South Africa.
220 in the first innings, South Africa ruining that throughout the test match. 378 for Pakistan, led by Fawad Alam's brilliant century. Then Numan Ali, 5 wickets on debut, 245, South Africa all out, and then Pakistan chased down 88, eventually got to 90 for 3, winning by 7 wickets. A resounding victory, and they go to Rahul Pindi 1-0 up in the series. So fantastic here from Karachi, and it's time to say goodbye with Fawad Alam, the hero of Karachi and the test match. Pakistan had the advantage.
Action about to begin here. Pakistan lingering up. Oh, bowling!
Yasir Shah gets his man again.
That's a good shot.
Big drive, and well, it's taken at leg slip.
Fawad Alam with the catch. Numan Ali. Numan Ali, debut test match. He has 5.
That is a thick inside edge.
Gone, caught behind.
Many congratulations to the Pakistan cricket team. Pakistan winning the match on day 4 of this test match, and we saw some wonderful performances by Fawad Alam, Yasir Shah and Noman Ali. Definitely a sigh of relief for them, considering, you know, they lost the series in New Zealand. And to talk us through this, I've got with me Mike Hazeman and Wasim Akram. Was a much needed win for Pakistan.
Yes, after the disaster tours of New Zealand, they needed a win, and this win will give them a lot of confidence as a unit, and of course to our new captain, who is making his debut as a captain in Pakistan. So it's a big deal. Everything came in. Obviously, they had a bit of a hiccup when they were 27 for 4, end of the first day, but they recovered well. And thanks to obviously Fawad Alam, the way he batted, and of course Azhar Ali, everybody chipped in a bit. The whole team, the fielding was the best I've seen so far in this test match. I think I'm talking about years and years.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of the talking points, in fact. But Hazy, overall, there was so much conjecture before the start of the game that it's going to be a spin track and the conditions which will favour the spinners. It seems like they almost got the plan right.
They did, except for Tabraiz Shamsi. Well, mind you, I think three spinners would have been excessive. However, I don't think Linda would have played. Tabraiz Shamsi would have played in the as the second spinner, and they wouldn't have gone 3. Surely he wouldn't have gone 3. I don't think that would have been the case. They needed to obviously get their quick bowlers to continue the form they've been in, but they just need to look back at their batting. I mean, it's as simple as that. When you lose the last 8 wickets for 112 in the first innings, you lose the last 9 wickets for 70 runs in the second innings. I mean, you can't win a test match.
Well, like you said in commentary, that South Africans have a long tail.
Normally,
but you get 2, 3 top 4 out, and then the kind of tail comes in.
Normally they don't. Normally it's pretty good. Normally all rounders there and whatever.
Exactly.
And suddenly this one, it was. But I mean, you can't lose 9 for 70. The conditions, there was nothing too dramatic. And I'm big on momentum. I'm not sure what you are like in test matches.
Yeah.
But you know, how would Pakistan have been feeling at stumps on day 1 of this test match? 4 for 33 at stumps. After doing really well with the ball, suddenly they're on the back foot. But then they just came out and played superbly, Pakistan.
You know, I thought after first day when they were 33 for 4, I thought Pakistan team will struggle in this test match. They might lose the game, although it was too early to assess that. But it was the way South African came back. But that performance from Fawad and Azhar Ali as well, it was very important knock from Azhar Ali. He just stuck in there. He was there taking his time. That gave the confidence to the rest of the batsmen in the squad.
Exactly, no doubt.
But I think Pakistan got into that position because of the heroics of Fawad Alam. I mean, it was almost poetic justice that he got to hit the winning runs as well. Whereas, I mean, you talk about scoring a 50, but to be able to convert that into 100, I think that was pretty special.
3 in a row, and that too. I mean, I can understand the frustration fans are having about Fawad Alam, that he's playing after 10 years, but bygones are bygones. Let him enjoy his success now. 100 in New Zealand under pressure, 100 here, that too on a very difficult pitch against one of the best fast bowling attacks of the world. You know, Rabada, Nokia and Gidi. So, and I mean, I'm so happy for this guy. I think he's mentally very strong. Very awkward stance, but it works for him.
Yeah, it does, and that's the most important thing. It works for him. And I don't think South Africans had their plans right. I mean, it's quite extraordinary if you look at the wagon wheel for Fawad Alam. Most of his runs are scored square on the leg side, and when you've got a batsman who scored all his runs there, and it wasn't poor shots, it just sort of works around all the time. I just
he shuffles across every time, and then he just goes there.
Correct. I mean, surely they should have been maybe a little bit wider in particular, and also fuller as well. But I don't. And the track was slow, so it didn't suit their quicks. But I don't think they quite got the plans right. But they kept it the same thing the whole time.
But Hazy, it wasn't a bad wicket to bowl as a fast bowler. There was always uneven bounce there, and you have a more chance to get wickets on this kind of wicket and then on a bouncy track, because it's uneven bounce, ball keeping low, going, you know, bouncing from the length as well. So, you know, generally bowlers enjoy that sort of wicket.
But they didn't change once, did they? They kept the same, the quicks kept the same thing the time and time again.
They did. Nobody came around the wicket, nobody tried anything different.
Well, one thing that certainly helped Pakistan, Hazy, was their fielding. I mean, were you impressed with the way? It's never easy to be fielding at short leg or, you know, silly mid-off, but they took some really good catches.
They did indeed. I was watching the series in New Zealand, and look, I mean, that was poor. We all know that, and I saw everything that they were talking about, the training, all that they were doing when they came back, and the training leading into this Test series. And I thought the fielding for Pakistan was just sensational. I'm with Waz. I thought I haven't seen them field like this for a long time. and they've been to South Africa a few times. They haven't done the job there. Australia as well, they haven't done the job. But this was really impressive.
This really was. I mean, credit to the fielding coach, the coach, whoever, the staff. I think they did really work hard when they came back from New Zealand. And boys have realized as well that fielding is one of the most important aspects of this game. If Pakistan team feels well, they automatically perform well with bat and ball. That's very important.
It was also buzz in the field as well. It wasn't just the catching and the ground footing. There was buzz. The guys were talking, encouraging, and that was nice to hear.
Yeah, and definitely I think the chances were actually created by the spinners, Noman Ali and Yasir Shah. I know we've spoken a lot about Yasir Shah as well, Baz, but so nice to see Noman Ali come in and take a few wickets. And of course, we've heard so much about him for his first-class record as well. So it'll give him a lot of confidence.
Lots, and he's experienced. He's 34, got lots of wickets, has been getting wickets in first-class system, and he's got the reward. And then obviously he got 5 wickets on a debut. Huge deal. I think the first ever left-arm spinner from Pakistan who got 5 wicket haulers on a debut.
Different spinners, Yasir Shah and Noman Ali, in terms of what they can offer, but I think that's what makes it so difficult as well as a batsman. When you have 2 spinners in tandem, bowling a different range of deliveries actually.
Of course, that is the challenge. I mean, had South Africa played to Brace Shamsi, they would have a different challenge, the Pakistan batsmen. But they had 2 left-arm orthodox spinners. You've got to have 2 different spinners for starters. And Yasir Shah is a class act, we know that. And to see the work that he went through today, I thought the way that he set up Faf to Qassid last night was just sensational.
It was sensational, absolutely. And I think Yasir Shah, yesterday, he bowled 19s on a trot. I understand he's a spinner. I understand he bowled long spells. But 19 overs in one go is a bit too much. He's a human being. He's bound to get tired. His fingers bound to get tired. And today I think Babar learned. He only given them to fast bowler 3-4 over spell, and Yasir 4 to 7 over spell, and then he brought Noman Ali. So that was good thinking.
Yeah, I guess, I suppose, you know, when you talk about rotation of your bowlers, Hazy, that's also equally important in Test cricket. How you rotate your bowlers, which bowler you bring on when there's a specific batsman on.
Absolutely, you've got to do your planning, you've got to work out who doesn't like facing which sort of bowlers, you've got to know who's the weaker against others and make sure they're in action when the batsman comes out. So congratulations to him. Norman, I thought he was just terrific. He really was very special.
Well, there's definitely lots to talk about in terms of South Africa as well, where they went wrong, where they could improve for the next Test match, but all of that on the other side.
for 1. Which is a pretty solid position to be in, and then suddenly a couple more wickets fell straight after that.
You know, I was thinking that if they get a lead of 120 even, forget 150, 120, 130 lead would have been very dangerous on this pitch, chasing Pakistan batting 4th innings. But coming back to the partnership, I think both these players, Fender Dusa and Makram, that innings they played, this will give them so much confidence as a batsman to play on subcontinent pitches.
I happened to be down here actually when Markham got out, and he was so annoyed when he went up on that change. I heard a couple of words, shall
Beautiful
I say,
words.
and maybe a
Lovely
bat sort of
vocab.
going somewhere. I don't know, perhaps just putting it down in his coffin, but it made a bit of a noise as he put it down in his coffin. But he was very unhappy he got out at that stage, because we know that he's been going through a little bit of a trot. I mean, he's a fine player, and if he got 3 figures here in this Test match, it would have done him the world of good throughout his career.
I mean, considering there were no demons in the pitch, Hazy, like you pointed out, where did South Africa go wrong?
Where they collapsed. I mean, it's as simple as that. Where they collapsed with the batting, I mean, that's where they went wrong. I mean, I think that they were totally outplayed in all compartments by Pakistan. In all compartments. I'm talking about the batting, the bowling, the fielding, the captaincy. I mean, that's an issue. Quinton de Kock, to me, I want a captain, if I'm playing in a side, I want a captain who wants to be there, someone who's going to be geeing up the troops.
Passionate and every time
exactly.
there in practice, ready to go.
He's doing exactly what he wants to do to make sure that everything is going right, and he's trying things in the field when he's going to, even reviews, even if the reviews are not right, that he's going to be positive about it rather than this little tap on the gloves and that sort of business and a little smile. I want to see a captain get involved and be a leader.
I mean, it was almost like there is an element of uncertainty, even when he was taking those DRS calls, Waz. I mean, as a captain, you need to be more assertive.
Look, as a captain in this sport, you'll make mistakes. As long as you own your mistakes and admit and learn from them. And make sure body language is very important in this particular sport as a skipper. If your body language is slightly down or negative, or one of those body language you don't want to be there, team will pick it up like this.
That's the key. Someone's got to sit him down, and it's got to be the director of cricket, Graham Smith. And whether it's a phone call, I don't know, but it's unlikely to change mid-series. But let's not forget also, there's a 3-test match series against Australia coming up. Someone's got to sit him down and say, listen, do you want to actually be captain in the tests? You're doing the job in the one-dayers. Do you want it? He's previously said he doesn't want it. He's been told to do it as an interim spot. If he doesn't want to do it now, then it's got to go to someone else.
And then there's no point giving him the captaincy.
Exactly.
Give whoever they want to, but the person should be there every day for his team.
But if he does want to do it, then he's got to change his attitude. Simple.
Are we expecting any changes in the team for Rahul Pindi, Hazy?
You know, I want to know about Dean Urga. I was worried about Dean Urga, that hit on the hand. He's someone who is a real tough nut and he doesn't show pain. He went off X-rays and thankfully it wasn't broken. But I spoke to Spakazi, the media liaison girl for the team, and she tells me that he's very bruised. He's very bruised from here all the way down to the start of his wrist. So it's just the hand. So it's very swollen, very bruised, and he says he will definitely play. And that's Dean. He'll play.
I mean, we saw Misbah smiling as well.
That was a miracle. Misbah, you look good when you smile.
Someone get a shot of it. We get a freeze, keep it.
He hasn't had many reasons to smile, so I'm happy for him and the side that he's finally got that opportunity. But I mean, winning combination for Pakistan, different conditions, but can we expect a few changes, or do you think they'll just stick with the
winning side? It depends. Pindi pitch, we know it won't be like this unless they prepared something totally different. It's a good batting deck.
Well, that's the thing. We've got to see the pitch, because I mean, just on that point quickly about South Africa, it depends on what the track's like. I mean, if it's a quick track,
it won't be quick. I think it'll be a good track.
Okay, then
I think usually Pindi is. You can't make a pitch like this, Rahul Pindi.
Then that might bring Mulder into play and just the one spinner.
Okay.
But yeah.
Probably a one spinner pitch in Rahul Pindi. I'm just guessing, but that's what I think.
Yeah, well, so we move from Karachi to Rawalpindi for the next test match. We've wrapped up things on day 4 here, Pakistan winning by 7 wickets. And then you've also got the 3 T20s, which will be played in Lahore. Yeah, thank you so much for your time, gentlemen.
Pleasure.
I'm not going to let you burn in the sun anymore. You guys can go home, just chill, have a drink, do whatever.
I like my son.
You like your son, definitely.
I'm not worried about getting color, dark colored. I'm okay. Pakistanis do, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
It's
Lucky
called,
you.
it's called a tan in some parts of,
And
the
it's
world.
called vitamin D. It's good for you.
Yeah, it's healthy.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and definitely be joining you guys once again when we meet in Rahul Pindi. It's been a great test match. We've seen some fantastic performances, and of course, there's so much to look forward to in Rahul Pindi. But for now, from here, it's goodbye from all of us.